Woohoo!
Hey there, my sewing friends. I am having an iron dilemma. Don't you hate it when this happens? Let me explain. Well, about 2 years ago, I contacted the Reliable company. They make excellent irons. And I asked if I could review one of their irons. And they said absolutely. And they sent me this one. And I love this iron. This is the Reliable Maven 120 IS. There are now two newer models of the, I'm trying to think, editions, versions, models of this one. And one has a much bigger tank and the other is just kind of an upgrade from this. Well, it has stopped working. It heats up fine. As a dry iron, it functions just fine. But as a steam iron, which is what it's known for, it stopped working. And let me tell you first, this thing has this big of a tank. I forget how big the tank is, but it is wonderful. And it is why I wanted this iron, because I got so tired of using just a regular household iron. And it might have given me great steam. It might have heat up really nicely. You know, all of that was good, but I kept having to refill those dinky little tanks. And it just drove me up a wall. So I was really happy to get this one. I did a review on it. I did an unboxing, all the things. And I raved because I thought, yeah, this is a great iron. It took a little getting used to because you can't set it down on your ironing board like this. You have to put it like this. And so you need to use like a trivet or a silicone little mat. It's fine, but you can see this. This is what came out after I had treated it with vinegar to kind of flush it out, and then cleaned it kind of with, well, I had been using a lot of starch, so I had some buildup in here. So I used a little, like a skewer to go in, a little wooden skewer to go in and clean out the holes. That was fine. Kind of washed it off again with a little bit of vinegar and water, and now it has stopped steaming altogether. So I don't have an iron that functions because I need that steam. Let me add a caveat to the things about this that I love. One thing I don't love, and that is the auto shut off feature, because it shuts off pretty fast. I mean, I can be using it and then I'll come over here and do 2 or 3 things and go back over. I don't know how much time has elapsed, but inevitably I will have to pick it up and shake it to wake it up. And it takes it a minute or two and I say a minute or two, it's between 1 and 2 minutes for it to heat up again. And it drives me up a wall because it's like having to turn the iron on every time I go over to iron something. So I love this iron. I don't love this iron. This iron doesn't work right now. So I'm gonna work with it, keep working with it, and see if I can get it to work. I have not contacted Reliable yet. I will do that. And so, yeah, I'm not giving up on this yet. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so then I was working on something the other night and I needed my iron. I needed a steam iron, because I wanted to get my Easter dress done, actually, and it was Saturday night. Sunday was Easter. I was going, what am I going to do? I don't have an iron. So 8:30 p.m., I ran over to Walmart and I bought something I knew would work, and that was this. This is a Rowenta Ultra Power Best Steam Professional Performance Extra Large Water Tank. Sure it is. 1775 watts. I do not know what the model is, but I can tell you it looks like this. This worked. It worked for the evening, but I knew I would not be keeping it because ultimately it will not work for me. And here's why. I've had 2, actually, I think I may have had 3 of these before, the Rowenta irons. Wow, they were all the rage back in the 1990s, early 2000s. Everybody said, buy one, buy one, buy one. So I bought one. Similar to this, actually. And they leaked. They all leaked. And that apparently is a very common problem with this brand. They leak. They're made in Germany, they're made well, they work for a while, and then they leak. And so that's why I won't be keeping this. It got me through the evening, but I'll be taking it right back because ultimately it's not going to work for me. So in the interest of not messing it up, I also got these 2 gallons of distilled water, only to find out that once I opened it and read the instructions, because I generally do that, it says don't use distilled water. It says use tap water. Okay, well, tap water is what got me into trouble with the Reliable. So didn't want to do that. I thought, okay, I hate going against the instructions, but I'm going to this time. And I put distilled water in. So it's okay. I didn't use it very long. I dumped out the water as soon as I finished. It's fine. So this is going back to Walmart. Bye. It wasn't cheap either. I mean, it was like $82. So it was not an inexpensive iron. I could have spent half that and gotten an iron, but I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go for it because it's only going to be temporary. So I went online and I did some research, drove myself crazy trying to figure out all of the reviews and what you should buy and what's way expensive and what's way cheap and all of the things. And I watched Whitney at Tomcat Stitchery's review on her gravity fed iron. I also watched Emily's review from SoCal Socialite. I don't think she's posting really anymore, but she did a great review on her gravity fed iron. So I made a decision, which is, you know, a big deal for me. I can't even decide where to go to eat. I just get in the car. So I ordered this and I have not opened it yet. And I thought I will go ahead and open it with you all. I got a Sapporo Gravity Fed Iron. I am really hoping that this will work. So let's get this thing open and see what's in the box. Okay, first up is a water tank. Okay, and it looks just like all of them look. But boy, that is gonna hold some water. I don't know how much. I could probably tell you if I read the instructions or whatever it comes with, but oh, this is nice. I guess does it unscrew? I think you just pop it off. I don't know, I don't want to break it, but it's got something in it, so I'll find out what that is. And then we've got the iron, which looks like this. Ooh, there we go. It's heavy. I don't know, it's not that much heavier than like that Rowenta is. It's not too much heavier. Ooh, it's shiny. Oh, the important things is it's shiny. It's got controls on the back. It's got an on-off switch here. From what I read, most of these kinds of irons are the same until you get into the more than $500 ones, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 ones. Then you get really high up and you get the deluxe versions. Well, you know what? I'm just entry level when it comes to these kind of irons. I've never had one before, so I'm gonna try this out and just see if I like it. So far, oh, there's a little button right here where you push for steam. So that's gonna be like that. And it's not bad. Also in the box are, let's see, what's this? This is instructions. And also, I think this is one of those little silicone trivets that you can sit it down on, because you're not supposed to set these this way. It will do that, but it's kind of wobbly. But this, you put it like that. So let's just put it like that. What else do we have? We have a magic slide ironing shoe. And apparently the shoe, from what I understand, is Magic Glide. It is what you put onto the iron. You slide it, you slide this on. That's just a spring there. I don't know how that's supposed to, I'll read the instructions. But you slide that onto the iron, and the iron only has those holes for the steam, which is not much. But what this does is disperses all of that steam so that it'll come out this way. And it also protects your fabric from getting scorched or the kind of shininess and dents that can come from an iron like this. This is pretty smooth. I don't know. It feels kind of like the inside of a piece of cookware. So, yeah. I think you just pop that off. Yeah, you do. That's what these are. This is, what are these called? They're little bead things for the iron, and you put them in and they absorb the minerals. I forget what they're called. And I will have to cut that open. This is another one of those. Yes, you get 2 of those and something else. Oh, probably the cords. Yeah, I need a cord. Oh, and tubing. Okay. And what this is. So many new things. So many new things. All kinds of warnings. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Yes, thank you, I will. I don't want to mess this up. That just pops off. So that would be how you load the water. And here, I think that's where this comes in. You put this on through these little holes here. And yeah, that's how you hang it up. Haven't figured that out yet, but I have some ideas. I am not afraid to drill into one of my ceiling joists. Not afraid of doing that. It's like drilling into a stud in your wall. And I've done that before. I've hung up stained glass windows and works fine. You just have to know how to do it. And I do know how to do it because I've done a lot of DIY. So I'm gonna either do that or I might get an IV pole. That probably is a good idea because then you're portable, kind of. And so I have to figure out those things before I hang it up. But then I've got tubing, which then attaches here to the iron right here. So I'm going to have to set all this up. And you know what? I think I will use distilled water. Taking no chances. My water, if I used the drinking water that we have, now that's water that has been purified. We get it at our local grocery store. Like, you know, you can find it all over the place. I think even like big box hardware stores, like Home Depot and Lowe's, they have those. You can find them a lot of places. But we just fill up gallon jugs and like 8 at a time. We don't get the big 5-gallon jugs because they're just too heavy and we don't have a place to put them. But we do the little ones, so we keep one in the fridge. So I might try some of that. Oh, it makes me cringe to do that. Probably I'll just stick with this because it's going to take a long time to run out of water in this thing. That's what makes me happy. And you know what else makes me happy? There's no auto shut off. It's not going to turn off and get cold. No. It will turn off when I tell Alexa to do that. Alexa, turn off the sewing room. Okay. As soon as I walk out of the room, I tell Alexa to turn everything off. So I don't think that that'll be a problem. So there's the new thing. We'll see what happens from here. I'm kind of excited about it, trying something new, you know. I've got my fancy machine. I've got my fancy serger. Now I have the fancy iron. Man, I am styling, aren't I? This actually, another reason that I got this was because I looked at another tank style iron like the Reliable. Even just to upgrade my Reliable would have been almost twice as much as this is. I know this isn't for everyone, but boy, I guess you have your people that are very serious about sewing, like in a tailoring sense, you know, where they want those industrial kinds of materials. And then you have your home sewer that has messed around with sewing or done it and enjoyed it, loved it for so many years that they just want to get the nice stuff. And so then they do. And that's the people who buy those kinds of machines, or actually the really fancy ones that do embroidery, that are the step up from this one and twice as much money. And then they get the big tank, you know, fancy irons. More power to them. Man, if I had money to just throw around, I might do that too. I do not. And I care about how much I spend. And if I can get this and it will do an amazing job for me, then I would rather spend half as much and do that. So I'll keep you posted. I'll tell you one thing, that Rowenta is going right back to Walmart. And I really am going to fill the Reliable up with probably some distilled water, and just see if I can get it going again. I don't know what else to do but to just work with it, you know, heat it up, get it as hot as possible, try and push that steam through. And also I am going to contact the company and see if there's any kind of troubleshooting thing that I can do. I couldn't find the filter for it. Interestingly enough, they do offer it, but they're sold out. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know. But if I don't like this, I can always send it back to Amazon. Let me know. What's your experience with a Rowenta? That's the first thing I want to know. And secondly, do you have one of these? Do you love it? What do you think? And what do you think of the Reliable or a tank iron in general? I know Rowenta makes one. What do you think of those? Are you one of those kinds of sewers that just isn't messing around with this nonsense anymore and just goes for the big time stuff? Because, you know, at this point in my life, I'm kind of feeling like, look, I'm in here every day. And if I'm going to do that, I need the good stuff, the stuff that isn't going to break, that's not going to have to be replaced in, you know, a short amount of time. 2 years, I don't know, that's pretty good. It's not 5, but yeah, anyway. Okay, I'll leave it there. I will leave you with a brief, very brief little ending scripture, which is my old faithful standard: do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God, from Micah. I will see you soon. Don't forget to let me know what you think.